Give me a little beat.
And we're back, folks. Hey, how's it going? We seem down a few players here, but we'll make do until they finally show up here. Of course, to my right over here is the Master in Arms, Dick. Get the little one, Stuplich. How's it going tonight, Dick?
It goes all right.
Oh, okay. I see you rocking a new headset there, so pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Down below, the man himself, the myth, the guy who has at least one giant nut. Terry Ewert, right? He's the father of all the Ewert boys. That's kind of necessary, right?
How goes it? We stayed out of the lake tonight, so there was a storm earlier today, so I didn't even try. Maybe another week.
Yeah, except he smashed his computer last week, so the screen is still flashing. Somehow he's still using it now. Don't really know how.
It's all good.
But yeah. And of course, the guy who thinks he wants to be part of this team, but he better second guess himself a little bit. Tom, how's it going tonight, Tom?
It's going good. You better second guess the invitation.
Unfortunately, we can't take that back, so now I just got to be mean enough that you never want to show up here. So. And we have
thank you.
The Eeyore, and he still has not found that baseball mitt, and he left. So, hey, we're not even going to work about it.
That won't be a problem, man.
Not a problem at all, no. So, how's it going tonight, fellas? Fans? Everybody else? You guys have any important things to do tonight? What do you think?
You had mentioned the broken computer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It looks good. It's a bad corner up to the left and to the upper right and to the lower left.
You have half the screen blanked out with the other screen because it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the bad part. I just put one screen over another and we're good.
Yeah, it's fine. You just got one double wide screen.
Yeah, there's actually another screen too, but I don't have it hooked up.
And then yeah, I was trying to get the videos of the construction edited. I don't think that's going to work, Jake, your suggestion.
Last week was a bad week. I mean, the storm came up, blew stuff over. My cowboy hat went into the water. It got that out right away. But the little band apparently came off, and I found that a day later. So we got her all dried out, and she's all good now.
Sure. Okay, we're starting off with some great comments here, folks. Thank you. Of course, we are a man down here, Reese Eeyore, Mr. Eeyore. He'll eventually get his stuff together because he has his own show after this show. So if you stick around long enough,
so he doesn't care about this show anymore.
Yeah. He pretty much,
Yeah.
said F off to us, and he's just doing his own thing now. But
We couldn't pay him enough.
right, and I was surprised at how long his show went last week because,
Yeah,
man,
it was back to the old days of 5-hour shows.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh, boy.
overall, it was. We had a little bit of seriousness in the first 2.5, 3 hours, and then after that, it went to Eeyore taking phone calls and giving dating advice.
No,
So that was crazy.
The last show went 3 hours, which is a good length for this show, and then another 2, I think, over on Mr. ER, where he was taking phone calls from randos and. Anyway,
Yeah,
so what are we looking at here? This is
So
this is the lake, right?
This is the lake property that originally Reese purchased, and technically his name is still on it in case there's any liability issues. But this used to be just a really bad farm field, and it's kind of right where you go into town. It's about 18 acres there, and it was a swamp farm field. Nothing would grow there really, really well. So then we started digging and raising up the land around there to later on build some houses and things on it. And this is probably 5 years ago that we started the digging process, and that went on for a couple of years. And we made a borrow pit. We took a lot of clay out and brought it all up about 5 feet around there. And now pretty much all that land is settled now, and we're starting to build a little, I guess, a family pavilion on the lake. It's got a little dock off the back side and a patio, and there'll be it'll look kind of like a country store, old saloon type of thing on the front porch along the whole front. But we got the concrete all done. You can see here, one of the concrete trucks, we laid 65 yards of concrete, and we finished up Thursday. So we did some concrete work last year, and so we're not completely rookies on it. These are all perimeter grade beam slabs, reinforcing bar every 2 foot on grid. So it should last a while. 130 tons of concrete.
Is the water safe to swim in?
Yeah. Just got to look out for the piranha.
Oh, the tadpole infestation right now, because there is a lot of tadpoles up
Yeah. The fish, if there were fish in there, they wouldn't be biting right now because there's billions of tadpoles.
Mm-hmm. So how heavy is that concrete? It was surprising to learn how heavy it actually was compared to how big it is.
Truck driver claims 4,000 a yard, but might be a little on the strong side.
Mm-hmm. Reese,
2 trucks?
muted.
Yeah, there was 4 trucks back to back that day for that main slab pour. And only $143 a yard.
Well, the sheriff in town, man, he's got to have like swinging doors on that thing, like old saloon style.
I get the saloon doors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you can just kick him in.
Hitching
Probably
posts.
just end up being some barn door looking things. So,
Well, let's talk about why the cameras are up on the property to begin with. How about that? Why are they there?
maybe Mr. Eeyore can interject if his mic.
Yeah, why are they out there?
Is he muted?
Well, I know why one camera is there, okay? Because Terry wanted to get a time lapse of this property being made as it was going about, at least the building portion of it. Now, the other cameras, though, Mr. Eeyore, why are the other cameras up? He can't hear me. You suck.
He's having
Jackass.
technical difficulties.
Of course. Well, once we get it back.
Well,
back
pretty much
around
he's
to-
trying to through the years. I mean, this is relatively close by to the shop, but you still can't keep an eye on it, 24/7. And the people drive in there and that sort of thing. So threw an extra camera or two up to see what's going on there, I guess.
Well, and those cameras, we had people drive in. We couldn't figure out what the license plate was. Then we had to put cameras even closer on Weasel's suggestion of that. So yeah, it's the
we
whole
couldn't
front is
enhance.
now. They couldn't enhance enough. Apparently, that's a fake thing. They can't enhance. But yeah, funny thing, because Team Whyachi is famous in town. No, actually. I would say, 90% of the town doesn't know we do BattleBots? Half of our family doesn't know we do BattleBots?
Well, the annual Dorchester Days are coming up here, and I guess we were asked to go in the parade, so I'm not sure if they are totally on board with that yet. Doing a float.
You gotta flip candy into the crowd. Come on.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, semi-famous people throwing candy at you, I guess.
So run a hydrant low pressure, and just chuck 1 gallon buckets full of candy into the crowd. You just chuck them up. Catapult.
We were just figuring pulling a aluminum trailer with the Udder Gun van, right? And get some people on there throwing candy and some bots on the trailer.
There you go.
Fusion barbecue.
Right.
What?
Some barbecuing.
Not quite.
So let's look at some of these.
Hopefully there's no crazy X's for Reese to show
Oh,
up there with. I mean, they know where he's going to be now. So
this is the view from the end of the dock, looking back up towards what we're building, and this is the sidewalk and the beaches. We've got timbers there outlining the sand, and then steps up to the patio. There's a backside patio that's mostly going to be open, and then the building is the next one. You can see the main slab, and then the front slab was just poured. That's 9 foot by 56, and it'll be vertical posts all the way across there, every 8 feet, holding up the roof over the porch, I guess. There's some pouring video.
I haven't heard of the Naked Car Show, so I couldn't tell you if that's true or not, really.
So
I'm sure Tom would be there.
So we bought our own
I'll be all
concrete
about that.
equipment, and here's the kids swimming while we're pouring.
Yes, while we're pouring, he's out there swimming. Yeah, he's supposed to be working, but he
So we
wasn't.
bought, the vibratory screed last year, and then the power trawl, and a bunch of other things, and then we do the excavating, compacting, setting up the formwork, rebar insulation. This particular slab, we put some PEX tubing in for in-floor heat. So we're not rookies anymore. We probably got with last year and this year maybe 120 yards of concrete poured under our belts. So
Oh yeah, it's so fun. So fun.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this building is across the road. It kind of looks like it.
Yeah,
It looks like you got a
that's-
huge building there.
That's way.
No.
way behind there,
It won't
other
be.
side of the
It
road.
won't be quite that big.
What the hell we got here? Is that a otter?
That's a muskrat. We gotta take care of him one of these days.
Mhm.
He's burrowing holes all over in the shoreline and
Probably eating fish too.
eating some fish.
But yeah, if BattleBots got made fun of by South Park, I mean, that's probably good for the show, right? I mean, they don't make fun of nobodies. They don't boo nobodies either. What's up?
There was that one episode where Cartman
Grandpa
became a robot.
What's up? You say hi to
Sorry.
Hey, it's Griffey.
This is where we left off.
Tell them what you got.
Hey,
Papa,
hey, what?
I got ice cream.
You got what? Ice cream?
Human.
She's got ice
Griffey,
cream.
I could. Hey, you got a donut?
Hey, Papa, I got ice cream.
Oh, it is ice cream.
Oh, good. Happy about that?
You must have been a good boy,
Oh, you
right?
touched the mic with the ice cream.
Oh.
No. I'm gonna have to lick it clean.
Sorry, everyone. We had to have family time.
Hey, I do want a picture of the kids though. Remember the yellow diggers they got for Christmas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking Ollie and Griffey will be on the beach, right? On each side. And then we'll roll the E35 up in the back and back up on the main slab behind and have Corbin in that one. And then we'll get a picture from the end of the dock.
Well,
working in the sand?
Right.
that's where those things should be, is in the sand, not in my living room. So
You need sand there in your living room.
right. No, Reese is not talking to his ex right now. At least I hope not.
He was having computer problems, right?
Well, something about he could hear everything, but he couldn't hear us, or I don't know.
Well, at first,
knows?
I was purposely not bringing him in, so he probably thought it was broken.
Ah,
Like I was waiting to bring him in at a more interesting time. Okay,
Let him ride that for an hour.
Oh, this is what, test weight?
yeah. Before we go out, we make sure that everything kind of fits, and we start adding all the external parts onto it to make sure that there's nothing too far apart. I mean, we didn't really change Hydra, but this was the second frame, so we wanted to make sure it was kind of the same weight with everything added as previous.
All right, Reese, you good? Reese?
Eeyore.
I can hear, but everything's delayed.
Okay, so you can do something.
I can only hear the actual stream.
Like on YouTube. You can't hear it through StreamYard.
You got to go to the gear and you got to click audio settings and then pick your
Everything is
output
muted
device.
in StreamYard.
Well, I didn't mute you. Don't look at me. I didn't do it. You know, when you get on 5 minutes into the stream, this is not the time to debug the stream.
I'm gonna reboot.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, it's another 15
Roger
minutes.
that.
It's probably
this
in the
was the
gear.
problem that I was having why I didn't hop in the first place.
Reese, what happens?
Oh, yeah, tanked, yeah.
Well, we're gonna do fusion without him then. Ha.
He spilled cat milk on his equipment. You're probably right.
My suspicion is that in StreamYard there's a little audio setting thing, and you have to pick the correct output, or it goes someplace where you don't want it to.
So I got a question. You hear rumors of some guys next season bringing 2 multi-bot verts. Any truth to that? And who's all doing it?
This is for Tom, right? Rumor?
Mostly for Tom. Tom's a rumor mill. Yeah.
2 multi-bot verts. The only multi-bot I've heard of is Team Seems Reasonable, but there's a double-ended vert with AI control coming in. At least it's going to Proving Grounds. So I'm not sure if they're referring to Team Seems Reasonable and their 2 bots, or the double-ended dual vert with
Isn't
AI
there one
technology.
Ogre Kill also?
Oh, Ogre Kill. Yeah, Ogre Kill and yeah, Team Seems
Yeah, the
Reasonable
green
with
one.
with
There
the
was a
twins.
green one, wasn't there?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Seen some renderings anyways of them. I think they were renderings.
Ogre Kill.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least more people get to drive then with multi-bots, so that could be fun.
No, not Overkill.
Of course, going against other bots, they're kind of outweighed, so you got to make sure they're made properly so that they can still do damage with their lighter weight weapons.
Oh, it's a UK team. Yeah, Overkill.
Oh,
And you don't know this, Tom? Tom, I
What the
shun
hell?
you.
No,
This
I
is
did
your
not know it.
expertise, man.
I did not know it. I just forgot they existed. But now I've been reminded. Yes, there are.
That's a pretty big diss. Wow, way to just throw that team under the bus, man.
Oh, I haven't seen them in action yet. I don't even know if the bot exists yet. I just see
Well,
CAD renderings.
If you get on their team, you can make it exist.
Aha!
They don't even know I exist.
no, I was just wondering because maybe Hydra should have 3 heads.
3
Okay.
multi-bots? Is that what you're saying? Is that where you're getting at?
Not exactly multi though. Otherwise you kill 2 and you're knocked out, right? These are 3 connected together.
So you got to
Somebody-
kill all 3.
Yep.
I would not be a very good spy.
Maybe you just act that way now, and you really are the spy.
I don't have a drawing of this one yet. I've been flicking.
I
that
haven't
around.
heard of it yet, so.
Right. It's pretty new. It's over the last day.
Mm-hmm.
Are you dreaming up some more crazy ideas, Terry?
This one is definitely going to be out there.
You notice he had to take the glasses off for that one. Take a picture.
So this is at BattleBots. They take you into this special room that's all kitted out like this. It's pretty slick, actually. Hey, what's this picture from? Did Hydra fight Switchback?
Spoilers! That was the championship Golden Ball final. No, not really. No, he was just like there, and we were just
Screwing
talking.
around.
Talking bots, yeah. And I'm like, hey, look, I can touch you way before you can touch me. This will be fun.
They're wedgeless with a knife.
That's the little squirt test in there.
Gotta have that
Well,
razor edge to beat all
Yeah,
those
you can
boys
beat
in
the little
ground
squirt,
game.
then you're sharp enough.
Wedge is super tight. What you gotta do is you gotta hone it on a nice steel
Hey,
plate.
COVID Karen.
Got a nice steel plate.
Yeah, I don't understand why we had to wear them outside, and we look really dumb now.
As sharp as you can get 'em.
That's why I have this banner ready.
What about the kids in those little pods playing their instruments?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't make us drive like that, at least. Okay, this was the stupid long war. This is Endgame with their stupid long forks.
Yeah, and then we brought out our stupid long forks, and then they didn't have long enough stupid long forks, so they actually bolted 2 of them together to get long enough.
They bolted stupid long to medium to make the extra long.
And of course, our game was to just take them off. They ended up taking off the really long one, the bolt-on section, but they left the other ones.
Which was what we wanted, but
Right.
it didn't. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well,
It went along.
it fusioned. Those darn speed controllers, fusion speed controllers.
It had one
Burnt
flip
up.
because it smoked at the go.
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, but in all reality, how many matches did the Hydrabot have so far, and how many hydraulic failures?
That's the is that the pump speed controller from Hydra? Because this
That's
is
the
in the
pump
Hydra
speed
folder.
controller. In that match, when I went to turn it, I always pre-pump my stuff beforehand before the lights start counting down, right? And then as the lights start counting down, then I'll flip the pump back on. But because the pump already had pressure in it and it was trying to get going, it apparently didn't like starting at that, which I've done it 100 times before with that same setup. But yeah, didn't like it, so it burnt up on the startup light when I went to start pumping again, which means I had the accumulator pumped up for one flip, and then after that there was no more pumping action. So that's why I got one flip, and that was it.
You pump too hard, is what you're saying.
Sometimes you just do, yeah.
This is just a brushless thing again. I mean, this is this is the first season brushless on that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Second.
no, I want to say this is the first, because APDs would have been the first year of running that.
Okay, Reese,
Then
before you run off, go to the 3 dots. Somebody
cannot hear StreamYard.
dang it. Before you run off, it's likely your output settings in StreamYard. Did you pick the correct thing when you came in? It asks you have to hit the gear when you come in and pick your output. And then there's even a test button there that'll play a song. And if you can hear the song,
Right, because if you're telling it to go to a different output, it's not going to go to your headphones. Anyway,
Then again-
go.
hang on. Let's just say
Yep. It's
Come
set
in.
up on virtual cable.
there you go.
Yeah.
Pick
So,
the right thing there. You should be okay then.
Has Hydra ever actually caught on fire, not just smoking? Well, because the bot is really well sealed, no, you really
Holy
don't see the
crap.
fire. But yeah, this burnt speed controller that's on screen now, that would have been a fire. I mean, it would have burned just like a fusion would have burned, except his things are right next to the top cover and you see the flame. So this one was just more contained inside the bot.
And it just kind of let out a kind of a fairly short sustained puff of smoke.
Well, yeah, that hole right there is just one of the cords that just blew off of it.
Okay, so this is the first fight.
Yes.
He told you. So Jake was trying to hide behind these hole saws to kind of force them to drive over these hole saws, but because Huge was just the year before, they started saying you can't do that, and I'm like, the hell you can't. You can certainly take the fight where you want. So that's why he's trying to come out, is because they told him he couldn't hide back there.
Yep.
And make him
out of the
over.
corner.
They forced him out into the center, so Endgame didn't have to drive over the. And now that was the only flip.
That was the half a flip left in the pump. That's all there was to it. Of course, looking back, it probably would have been better to keep it down, but you don't know that stuff. You don't know what burnt until it leaves up, and then it's I know exactly what it is now. Yeah. I didn't actually notice necessarily. I mean, I can't remember now if I noticed the puff of smoke during the fight right before it or not. I don't know if, since I had pushed the ready button, if I would have turned the pump on earlier, if I could have actually stopped the fight before it actually counted down.
You had already pressed the ready button.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. I don't know if in the time, let's say, the other person touches it or whatever, because we would have been first in that order if we could have postponed at that point. But now I don't. Just learning lessons. Now I don't leave the pump to the last second to turn on. I turn it on and leave it on now.
I think this is a ribot damage. I'm not sure. Those are the ribot this is the first time you've ever had these on, so I assume that's a ribot damage there.
Yep, that would be ribot damage from that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say about the other fight. Have they ever told you before or since, no, you can't stay in that one bit of the arena? They didn't have a problem with you holding the center of the arena and making them come to you there.
No, see, they thought I was trying to bait them in the corner and flip them out of the corner. So they forced me out of the corner.
Okay.
This is what, the hydraulic package halfway out? What's going on here?
Yeah, this is just like tipping it out so we can get at some of the manifolds on the back if we need to.
Oh, you got this.
Things.
Looks like we're working on the main valve because the solenoid's off.
In the end game fight, the big valve that you see there that's kind of naked, it doesn't have a black solenoid around it, was bent after a few hits of just not being able to take all the hits. But that's not what broke it, but it was broke after the fight, I guess. So we had to take that valve out, and without having to break all the connections and stuff, we just kind of split the back end, move it out, and then put a new one on.
I don't know if we can read this, but somebody's asking about onboard air compressor. I think it takes too long, doesn't it?
I mean, we already have the compressed air in there.
No. I mean, if you just use an air flipper,
right?
But you pumped your own air.
Yeah,
it would just take.
You'd have to have a pretty big compressor to be able to do it at any speed.
And you need a way to cool it down.
And take the water out of the system too, because you're sucking in air, making condensate when it compresses.
Well, Jake's up to like almost 30 flips a fight at some point. So how many times do you need that many flips? Nowadays, you need a lot of flips because you can't flip them out.
So, some of these other flipping bots don't need any flips because they just don't. But yeah, Hydra's average is probably in the 20s now, I would think. It's got to be there, and with the bots just being as durable as they are, yeah, it's tough to either flip them out or get them in a spot and damage them. So if you're only doing 4 or 5 foot flips, there's the flippers are not going to survive. I mean, Hydra does 10, 15 foot flips, and it still isn't necessarily killing robots. So flippers are not gonna be, a good position here rolling forward with how reliable things are getting.
I think this was when the the main valve had a chip or something in it, and you guys had to take it out.
This is that same one, that same picture, except we have the valve out now, and we can see like down inside the fluid and all that good stuff. Oh no!
Superstar Jake.
Superstar Jake. That was my pose for that year. That was good times. Yeah. And of course, just random pictures. Not really sure what that's from.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a Hydra part.
That's not a Hydra part. Oh.
Somebody else's.
Oh, there's the Vert mod with the batteries. This is what Vert mod looks like in and getting prepped to actually run.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know what we had to do. The Vert mod was made for the first frame, right? But the second frame is ever so slightly different, so we had to put it on the milling machine and egg out all the bolting holes to make sure that the second frame would also move.
A little overweight.
So
That's
why
you test everything.
What's the target weight on here?
On the
Camel
wood?
for scale.
Probably 400 or 500 pounds.
Yeah, they're big. Why is Hydra purple? Why is that on screen? Get that off screen.
No, I want to talk about how much it looks exactly like Jameson Go's logo for his robot.
Oh, it does. Yeah. I did hydrify it. The purple and pink one is my version of that, so that it was the right colors. But why is Hydra purple? Because we make red and black bots, and I wanted to do something different with Hydra. So the original version of Hydra, we did some color chameleon paint, and it went from green to kind of purplish. And then we kind of liked the purple. And when TKO, our sponsor from the second year, came on, we gave them pretty much the rights to design up the vinyl graphics, and it ended up being the purple that you see now. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes the bots definitely pop. If it was just the same old bland, steel colored or whatever colors, it would not be the same. Plus, it stands out against other bots too.
This is what it's like being at BattleBots. I mean, in the crowd, it's really great. Especially if you ever go, sit down on this end if you can, because this is open seating. Because you can wave the drivers over, especially this end that Jake's at here.
Yeah, when you enter the arena, you would want to go to the right-hand bleachers and go as far down as you can.
Not on the same side as opposite the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah, opposite of judges, because that's the side we walk out on. That's the side we can talk to, and people just came right down from the crowd, and we just chill out there and shake hands and do pictures, what have you. It's a little sneak peek for all the fans who are thinking about going back to BattleBots.
And look how many people are. Stands are full.
Yeah, at the live events, there are a lot less people at live events, but that's probably because it's everyday kind of thing.
I think the crowds were probably bigger sellouts, more days at Long Beach than they are at the Vegas tapings. Except when you get to that, those finals, quarters and on.
So this is where we test Hydra, right? This weight that we're throwing is 250 pounds. We made sure it was exactly that, throwing a bunch of steel and stainless together. And this was the very first time we got it up to the door. We whaled into the door, and that is 16 foot. Exactly. So that is hitting the ceiling rafters in the BattleBots. That was our goal for the longest time. Of course, the concrete underneath that does not like that so much. Not
Yeah.
really.
It's all beat to shit.
Mm-hmm.
This I made at the event because they were being super secretive about these forky thingies. See them moving?
This is Blip. Okay. And we didn't know it at the time, but after reviewing our tape of it, we figured out that they have moving wedgelets. They move in two different directions. They tilt and they go backwards. And I'm pretty sure that's to try to get over the whole seam issue. But
Hydra, this is the Hydra fight. You didn't have any trouble with them at all.
no, because their wedges go over top of fixed objects. So It's kind of a toss up to which one you want to be able to do.
Yeah, when you're both equally low and one is compliant, the one compliant is going to lose.
Well, we tried our version of the auto blades and we'll see in that tantrum fight, right?
Yeah, didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
So
good
this is
feedback.
this is Udder Gun, right? This is Reese. This is Udder Gun here.
Yeah, that's the Udder Gun assembly area. Or
And-
for 6 months out of the year, Jake's toy shop.
Don't you have a
Last-
bot shop upstairs?
Last season, I went all upstairs. I didn't do anything downstairs. The thing is when
I
you're
seem to
welding up
recall
Hydra
there was a
frames.
Hydra sitting in my area for well over a year.
Yeah, that's when we were messing around with the new brushless and stuff, and you don't want to walk upstairs every day to work on it and then come back down, and it's just too much monkeying around when you have to do that. So you just leave it down in your area where it's nice and clean.
Yeah,
some decent lighting.
Just leave it down in Reese's area. He's got nothing to do. Might as well throw it in there.
Oh, kind of right.
Can you guys see this one, Terry?
Well,
Could you make?
there-
Can you make?
There are actually two smaller accumulators. They're both hooked up to the same, gallery
Right.
port inside the.
The thing is,
block.
the accumulator's hooked up to the same pressure. So whether or not you use one or two, you're still going to get generally the same shot. It's just one accumulator is going to move a lot faster because it needs to flow all the fluid that there is. So you just got to have a different actual shot size on your flow rate on your valves.
I agree, Chad. I think he's lost the villain title. He's gonna have to hand it off.
I made my mark as the villain. That's all I need to do, right?
What's the Whyachi team drinking tonight? Well, Jack Daniels for me.
Oh, I still have a lot of Mountain Dew Zero Baja Blast, like a lot.
I have this Red Bull knockoff from a place from Aldi. I think Aldi's are worldwide, right?
Mm.
Tom, you guys got Aldi, right?
Oh yeah, we do. Love an oldie.
Yeah.
Tom, what are you drinking?
I'm on water tonight. I think I had
Wow.
enough last week.
And
Wow.
what happened last week?
I may have been mildly inebriated. I said some loving things to Jameson Go. Maybe some other things I don't quite remember. But
Oh,
I
where-
was going to say on the topic of Hydra, I'd love to see a controller for Hydra, the ones that you use, Jake, because obviously you've got the sticks, but I imagine on the other side you've got the pump mechanism and the firing mechanism. I'd love to see it
No.
in more detail. No?
On my particular controller, it's got the two sticks, right? The left stick is the pump selection, I guess we'll call it. In a few different modes.
The mode selector. Yeah.
Dick put modes into the controller so that I can hold the valves, and if I hold the stick to the right, it engages this mode, and then it fires valves in a certain sequence so that I can go right. It's in hold mode. If I go down, it's in its standard go down mode, or if I go up, it's in the up mode. What we did this for is when you go to fire, it does all these valve changes pretty much instantaneously to at least us, and there's no control over it. Now, if you're trying to test something or debug something, you want to say go slow. So you want to hold the valves, see if those valves click. You can feel them or see the lights turn on them, and then you can go down. This enables us to do the grab, or in other terms, we can do a small flip too. Because when we're using this, it's not using the big fire valve. It's only using the smaller fire valve. So if I wanted to do small flips, I would hold right on the stick, flip it up, and that would give me a small flip instead of my big flip. Now, on the top of the controller, there's a training button, which is used to bind the controller. I made that into my fire button, so it's just a momentary fire button. So I just click it, everything does the rest. What I
And then
didn't want to have to mess around with is a stick, where I have to hit the stick up and then remember to try to put it back down for a fire. That's why I made it just to the button, because it's like I want to fire, do its thing, go back down.
There's also running at just pump speed too, with no fluid coming out of the accumulator circuit. It's just at pump speed that we can run slow.
Correct. Where it'd
Like
have no
lifting an
pressure.
Udder Gun van.
Yeah, if you have no pressure in the system, I would hold over into the right mode, then go into up. There's no actual pressure yet, so it's just sitting there, and then I can actually turn the pump on, and then it would run up at its pump speed instead of at accumulator speed because there'd be not a lot of pressure behind it.
To summarize on the control, there's a switch for the pump, which is normally off. There's a button which fires. There's a stick to kind of manipulate some of the controls on it. But I realized when I was making it that in all of those modes, he can still press the fire button. So if he's screwing around with it and somebody like ends up on the tip, if he presses the fire button, it always goes into fire mode. So really when Jake's driving, it's one stick for forward, reverse, turn left, turn right. And you can mix those, you can turn some left, some right, and go forward, and then fire. There are probably many fights where it's turn the pump on, flip them, turn the pump off. That's it. You don't mess with the other ones at all. At the start of the fight, do you always do a drive up, drive down?
Yes. I always do that now where I run at pump speed, or I do a small flip where I just turn the pump on for like a second or two. And then before the match, I will just hit the big fire. But because there's nothing in the accumulators, really, it'll just go up like a few inches.
And you did that in the bike rack match.
Right. Yep. What I do is I pop the flipper a little bit, so it's a little flip, but it just sees that it's moving.
So
Any movement is good.
Was working.
And then prior to the match starting and the lights going down, I turn the pump on, which it will go down to it'll actually be hydraulically locked down to its down position. So I can physically see, hey, this is working now. And then it goes down, and then it keeps pumping up until the green light hits.
Yeah, unlike a lot of flippers that either use gravity or springs or something to pull the arm back down into position, Hydra drives it in both directions. It's less powerful in the down because the diameter of the rod is taken away from your pressure forces. But its closes. You wouldn't want to have a hand or anything anywhere near its close.
It's got 700 pounds of pinching force. It'll rip your fingers off. Yeah, but yeah, it's enough to hold it down because we have the movable tip at the end, and we want to have that forced down, or at least the arm down. If you use it just gravity or a light spring, then you're kind of always going against that force. So you're actually losing a little bit of flipping power.
All right, this is the clip everybody wants to see. Get your smartphones out.
You want to see the Hydra Vert actually in action, huh?
It's raining.
Yeah, not that impressive, folks. It's only
Now, is that a
400
fusion
pounds
motor
over.
running?
It's a soft.
It's two
Soft
fusion
turn.
motors, so it's exactly Fusion's horizontal setup, running that same spinner. Yeah.
That is 600 pounds.
Yeah, it's a lot of logs.
Oh,
Yes, we caught shrapnel all the way over there. Yeah.
There was all over,
What did I
stuck
say?
in the ceiling.
In fact, there's still shrapnel, and the lights above it were wrecked. All the bulbs were shattered in it, and we just fixed that like last month too.
I think you said, "Look what I caught." I don't know.
No, I was
Yeah.
across. I said, "Are you that fucking scared?"
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. Yeah, I barely moved it because I didn't want it to like gyro dance around and flip upside down and start careening across the shop, even though we were up off the ground a ways.
Those were hardwood, hard maple logs, I think.
How much energy is stored in the tri-bar, the tri-rotor?
40,000 foot-pounds.
So just a little bit.
Yeah, let's
Nothing
go
much.
with that.
So this is upstairs at the bot shop. It looks to
Adorable hit. Oh, come on, Shirley. Adorable.
What?
Jeez.
It was cute.
So I see fusion teeth on the left, and then there's just a pile of. Are those batteries?
Those are Phoenix Edge speed
Oh, those are-
controllers.
Oh,
Those
did
are
you
all the
see
burnt
them in-
controllers that he was ripping out of the fusion.
Yeah, and I was
So-
sick of like putting
So
them
it
in a
looks
neat
to me
pile.
like Looks to me like the
So-
cart started off to the right, and as he's
Oh, there you
pulling
go.
stuff off, it was moving and dropping a trail.
Yeah, I had to move because I was sick of stepping on shit, but yet I didn't know if I was throwing it away or what we
Yeah.
were doing with it. So
That's
I
what
just-
Bugle was doing last night in the kitchen when he was trying to get out the doggy door.
It's kind of like that kid on Snoopy, that the kid with the blanket, and there's just a dust trail following him everywhere. I'm that guy.
So what is this? I'm not really overly aware of what is going on here. Why is there a metal box?
That's
The metal box.
That's
Oh,
the
go,
Bane
Weasel.
the Bane box. The
That's
Bane
a
box for fusion.
Safety shield for sending it to Australia for testing.
Why is it
Yes.
clamped on the front? Just to simulate the weight of the spinner?
Oh no. Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Yeah, it bolts around the vert, so that we sent the whole bot out to APD in Australia, wherever they're at, so that they could test the spinner as it sits and dial in their speed controllers to get it working properly. And we just made the box for their safety so that it's spun inside a box.
Yeah, we'll get to the shipping of that. There it is.
Yeah.
So
There's
the
a-
vert is in the safety box.
So this was after year one, after we burned through APDs like they were fucking hotcakes. And
APD probably said, "Well, you're using them wrong" or something.
no, we shipped it out to them, and they said, yeah, we got it figured out. And they sent it back to us after 4 months. And at times, yeah, it seemed like, holy shit, this might work. I mean, we were sitting there grinding on a piece of metal with the vert.
Hooked up to the
and
Bobcat. We welded the
welded
frame to the Bobcat.
to the Bobcat bucket.
We'll get there.
Oh, we have a
Jumping
question
ahead.
here though. Pa, she's saying the wood reacts different to how metal would, and that's correct. But
Sure.
what would you say about the wood test in general?
It
Would
probably
it actually take out more energy in the weapon?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of think it does. Yeah, it all depends on the hit, you know.
Because
How much
you're
it
multiple biting the wood, and it's taking out a little bit here and there instead of one
Yeah.
hit and then just
All
fly away.
matter how long you can keep your weapon in contact with your target.
Right. We were trying to make the worst case scenario to make the thing burn, pretty much.
Oh, you were trying to go from full to zero?
Pretty much.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It
pretty much.
almost nearly completely stopped.
hmm
So this is
Well, I
just the
suppose
code
it was-
that you're sending. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, I was going to say that the vert was designed mainly for huge, so it's mainly designed to hit plastic in a sense.
Mm,
Metal.
Yeah, he's
Fine.
not all
Huge,
plastic.
Sure.
It's
what,
made to hit his body.
what the problem with is that we're actually hitting so high that it's going to try to flip the bot over and forward, right? When we hit something up that high. When you hit it at the ground, you're using the floor as your advantage. But if you're hitting huge, like up that high, you're actually going to try to flip the front of the bot as it's spinning, and it's going to try to flip you over forwards. So you could face plant after a hit,
So
which is why we have little outriggers out in front to make that not happen.
this picture, instead of fixing fusion so it doesn't burn every time, let's just make a hat and try to sell them.
Look how cute that hat is.
Which it was actually quite the process. We talked to the cheesehead making people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The actual cheesehead
And
makers.
They were fans too, and they were. I don't know what ever happened there. Did they say it was too hard to mold?
I think they were waiting for us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is us watching the burning session, seeing how much we actually put the controller up, where the controller is, so we have data to when things burn or start on fire or don't start spinning. Plus, it's like, go ahead.
But everybody, look at the position of the stick and the sound it's making already. It's like, okay, this is the Bobcat.
So this is fusion welded to the Bobcat bucket, and we're going to use that to ram into things. Because for
Couldn't
some
get a
reason, we
good-
just couldn't put wheels in it.
Couldn't get a good hit on it.
No, couldn't get under it.
It's better than mine.
Well, you end up starting to grind at the dirt and shit with it.
Yeah.
I was a little bit
Yeah,
irritated
it was
watching
pretty
it.
nasty. I blame the Bobcat driver on that one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
So, how long did it take to dry your hat out, old cowboy?
Not too long. Less than a day. Apparently, that's why cowboy hat, work for cowboy. They dry out.
Here's where they just grind on the dirt.
And that's the importance of bite, folks. You go slow into somebody, you're just gonna grind away.
You minotaur him.
Oh, there's fusion for this year. All bead blasted and looking nice.
Yeah, you had to bead blast the old, crusty, nasty lipo
Yeah, it
smell
was-
out of it, huh?
We didn't have a tiny hands around, so I had to bead blast it.
Oh, okay. This I found really interesting. I did not know you guys did this. You got to explain this because this is really pretty interesting. I have a an idea why you're doing this, but you tell me.
Okay.
Well, let's hear your idea first.
Yeah.
I think you want them to break off,
Yeah.
In a certain direction. Yes.
right? So you don't want to go flying end over end backwards if somebody catches one. You want it to just ping off.
Yep.
Precisely what, Watson?
So many little things, little details in these bots.
So down is strong and up breaks off.
There's some sideways ones in there too. So what's holding those wedges in is a little piece of titanium, and essentially it makes the hard steel wedgelet makes a kerf and just bends right out of the tie when it goes upwards.
Yeah, I clicked that
Downwards
same
it
one
hits the
before,
steel
too.
frame.
Okay, well, let's start with where is Tiny and Trevor?
She is not feeling well.
That's no excuse.
Well, she might have gone out drinking last night, so who knows?
Still no
So-
excuse. And
That's what I said.
this fire extinguisher and fusion outside the door. What do you think happened here?
I don't know.
No,
I didn't find any
fusion.
pictures of it.
Fusion looks a little white there for some reason.
But yes, it would be nice if they added something for Hydra specific flipping bots so we could get up there. Because, I mean, yeah, you've seen one vert in Riptide hit somebody that high, but generally it's the flippers that get them consistently to a certain height. So it'd be nice to have like an upper deck that was actually an out that you could basketball hoop them in. That would be an excellent time.
There's your standard aftermath off of a fresh fusion fire.
Is this the actual fire?
Oh, that looked like a fire.
I don't think I got any fires in here.
Extinguisher sitting there.
Oh, this might be the
must-
fire then, yeah.
This must be on a crazy timer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started working with timers and stuff to try to get it so that it would do its own thing. So you could just flick the stick up and it would just go, right?
There's a cobalt.
And it wouldn't burn out.
Wait, that's cobalt.
Yeah, I don't know why we have
So-
that picture.
It's not at the shop, is it? Oh, that's the damage.
Yep. After the fight, just chopped right out.
Now, did you goad them into doing just one giant long fork? Or did they do that of their own just complete free will, hoping
That
to
was
get...
mad
what were they?
early on in
So
this
here's-
conversion.
Here's what happened. Fastest Hands west of Mississippi, Derek Tran, was on Cobalt that year. And he came up to me before the fight. We were talking, and I said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna run the horizontal up to your weapon and probably break it." And so he ran back to the pits, and this was my plan, by the way. So I wasn't lying. Ran back to the pits though, and they Matt made an attachment so that I couldn't do that. But that's kind of what.
Wow, good story, man.
That's true. That's that. Oh yeah. That is true. But let me see if I got.
Great story. Compelling.
I don't think that's the entire story because
It's not the full story.
He was out on that in welding. They had a square of the arena floor, and he had it sitting up on there, kind of camping up on there, working on it. And I kind of went over to him and I kind of looked at it and I did this kind of thing, and I looked at it and kind of contemplated it, and I just said, I think I said, that is the worst idea. I think that's the worst thing you could do, or something like that. And then I just laughed. And the thing is I meant it, but I am not above lying to other teams. Like if the truth is going to get in their head more, I'll use the truth. And so I came back to the team and I'm like, they're putting a solid point on it. This is like, it's perfect because now you're just going to use the vert and kick the shit out of them. So, and you've seen now the new Cobalt has actual good forks on it. So they did learn. In fact, that event they put good forks on. So they just learned from that. Sometimes you got to take a loss to get a decent modification. And
they recovered pretty nicely, right? I mean, they went to the 8 that year, and how far this year?
What happened here?
All hands on deck.
That's the all hands on deck.
Oh, another burnt up fusion.
Yeah. You get pretty used to that after
This
a while.
was the total swap. We took everything out intact in fusion and just transplanted it into the other fusion. It is insanely loud.
This was probably before you're supposed to get selected to go on into one of the feeder rounds.
Oh yeah, this was when they wouldn't let me into the bounties last year. Yeah.
We were running dog and pony shows in the test box to try to get them in the bounties.
Why wouldn't they let you in?
Good question.
They don't like me.
Yeah. We get screwed a lot over in there.
This was 2 seasons ago, right? And Fusion was the only one-win bot that didn't go on into the bounty.
The double, because
Crank it.
it's super cool.
Blast their eardrums. All right, that's about 75%.
Hey, no
It's just
fire.
leaving it run.
Spinning the other
Why
one.
can't you do that all the time in the main battle box?
We
Now
got
there's both of them.
yeah. That's some sweet, sweet spinner sound right there, with those harmonics going. Oh, so good.
That was also the fastest that Fusion ever spun. We hit 38,000 motor RPM, which is pretty damn close to 250.
Yeah, but you'll still.
Look at
Still
this.
testing.
It works fine in testing.
Looks like
That
he was ready
fucker
for a
is
deep
ripping.
run in the bounties.
Reese, did you see the air raid siren comments?
I did.
Oh,
Didn't want
boy.
to
Don't
comment
get him started
it.
on air raid.
That's a sore subject because they won't give me an air raid siren.
Core's got it right here. Can you machine the blades to make different sounds? Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was duct the vert so that it would chop the air even more, and it would actually be an air raid siren. Yeah, this is white tip fusion. This is best that ever.
This was your
ran.
favorite fusion, wasn't it?
Yep.
Love for blood.
Gosh, sounds so
And
good.
it wasn't even allowed into the bounties.
But you do have people coming over to the test box, seeing what the hell's making that noise.
Oh, we had a question. Where was that question? About how loud is this compared to... Oh, there it is. How loud is this compared to Riptide's spinning weapon? Would you say that this is one of the louder weapons?
I
Yeah.
would have to say it's the loudest.
Yeah. I think that
Next to like
Minotaur.
an actual, gas engine.
Minotaur and Fusion probably right up there.
it's what's going on. And the other thing is, the season, if we couldn't get in, at least you got some box time with some sort of protective glass, you're behind some glass.
Who needs safety?
Not that you can really drive it in that test box anyway. Not with both weapons spinning, because you never know what's gonna. You back up 3 inches too far, you're hitting the wall, and shit's gonna.
Yeah, you're going to go around that box real quick as much as that thing gyros around.
Reese, let me ask you. I asked Jake earlier about how he likes his control setup. What's your control setup like for Fusion?
Yeah.
Well, it's tough being a one man. I will say I have the hardest job. I run 2 weapons and drive the bot. This year. Last year I had Dick running the horizontal, and the year before. So basically I have the weapons set up on switches and timers. So there are 3 position switches. You can do 0, 10%, or 100%. The 10% is just to test it to make sure it works, and the 100% is obviously run full. It's not bad, but it's a lot to handle. Like for the Witch Doctor fight, I know it looked like I was running a fucking nuclear plant melting down. I was pushing so many buttons. But it made it fun. It was interesting.
How do you control the gyros of that bot? You don't. You hope it goes right for you about that much, right?
There's no prediction.
In fact, you don't know where it's going to... Most hits, you don't know where it's going to go. Because usually when you hit with the horizontal, it flips upside down
when you're
and
a
it does a cat
master,
turn.
when you get to be a master like me, you can hit somebody right and you can hit somebody wrong. Hitting them wrong is when you spin with the horizontal. So the horizontal spins this way. When you turn towards it, it just that little extra bit makes it spin around that much faster, and that's when it gyros, because first off, your dominant gyro, the horizontal, slows down because it hits somebody, but you're also spinning around really fast, so your vert is still running full, which makes it flip over.
Mm-hmm. So every time you hit somebody with the horizontal, your bot reacts, twisting, which then causes the vert to gyro and give you a crazy gyro dance. Every time you make good contact with the horizontal.
Pretty much. You could have somebody else drive that thing that, somebody would consider the best driver in BattleBots, and they would just, give up, throw their hands up and walk away, because it's really that uncontrollable and unpredictable.
Well, it would be better if you didn't have the vert on when you want to use the horizontal.
Chaos. Captain Chaos. That's my new name.
Yeah, that's the answer to the why do it yourself. If somebody else is running it, Reese is the only one who knows really what's going on. So he'll just be shouting verbal commands to the person to do the thing that he could do with a switch. As long as I think he's got 1 3-position switch on the left and 1 3-position switch on the right. So it's really not that tough to just click or click. And mostly it's turn it off for a little bit, make sure it's still working at 10% and then go full again, kind of thing.
Yep.
No, the gyros on the two spinners do not counter each other. If they were both verticals, then yes, they would. But this way,
not they do not counter each other fully, but one does dominate the other one.
Mm-hmm.
correct.
The horizontal helps hold down the airplaning of the vert.
Well,
Right.
you can get into some attitudes with it. Like I think the first season it was standing upright on one wedgelet, praying mantis style type stuff.
Yeah,
going on.
and it stood up and then it spun around because the torque.
But one can cause the other one on a hit to actually gyro worse.
Yep.
Right. The horizontal it is causing the flip overs. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
So,
the
LaSalle-
horizontals are always an issue. I mean, you're always going to have some major reactions, and you have to be aware of that. You in your mind, you have to have a preferred spot. You want to hit the other bot, but you got to look where you are against the wall and where you're going to go flying back towards. And position yourself in the arena before the hit, to minimize that impact.
But in a fusion's case, that's a lot less irrelevant because it spins over and turns over and does all cat turns and it bounces all over the place. Whereas Sao is more of a actual billiards thing where you pick your spot and you know which way you're going to ricochet off.
It careens very far, like 1.5 boxes, 1.5 arenas.
If you watch the last season with Sao and Luke driving, there's shots that he won't take. Like you can't take that shot because it's going to be you versus wall in half a second after you hit the shot.
You
Hitting
hit
the
them,
other
then you
bot
hit the wall.
to a horizontal, hitting the other bot is way nicer than hitting a solid wall.
Fusions hit the wall though, and it wasn't that bad. It took some nice coverages out of it.
It chunked it out instead of ricocheting. This is at Vegas, right? You met these guys in the casino or something, Reese?
Yeah, this was the last day of 2 years ago, technically.
This is when he went on his stripper tour.
Oh, he's
Isn't it?
some strippers, yeah.
That was that night, I think. You left us
No.
down at the Tuscany. You just went off on your own, and then you ended up with these guys.
I don't think maybe.
It's like he was trying to sell Udder Guns.
Yeah, this is the night that you said you went to the strip club right there, and the bouncer told you, yeah, you don't want to go in there, or something like that. That was the story you gave us the next day.
Yeah, it could be. No, that's a true story though. First off, what kind of a bouncer tells you you don't want to go to this place? And me looking like a homeless guy, this strip club was too bad for me.
Which one was it? Which strip club?
I don't know, whatever one was right next to the hotel.
Yeah, next to the Tuscany.
Oh.
It's like literally in the parking lot.
Well, Ripperoni is different because their calculations are 100% cancellation gyros. Mm-hmm. So their gyro, they have a gyro that, I mean, it doesn't waste energy because it has a purpose, but it's not really part of the weapon system.
But it could be.
It could be, yeah. So here's this is at BattleBots. This is the safety inspection videos. It's very detailed. They have a checklist. You have to go through all these items. You have to prove that when you turn your transmitter off or it loses signal, it's not going to go crazy. It's going to stop instead of run away and stuff like that.
That's one of the biggest things. It's called fail-safe, where you turn your controller off, which is supposedly the safe position for a controller in an emergency situation, and your bot does not move, doesn't twitch, doesn't do anything. It just gets 0 commands, and it stops. But sometimes you get fail-safed in the wrong position, and the box just, it kind of just turns a little bit, or the weapon spins up, or whatever else happens. It's just another safety thing to make sure. Because if, say, your bot doesn't fail-safe, and for some reason you lose connection in the box with your controller, even though it's not off, they need it to be safe. They need it to spin down or turn off or not move anymore. So there was a time where BattleBots wanted to, I guess, put their own power control inside of it that they could remotely deactivate your whole bot. That was at one time, right, Pa?
Yeah, and they still talk about doing that.
Right, where they would have remote control over pretty much everybody's bot, and they could master switch it off and physically turn the power off to it.
Like monster trucks. Don't they have kill switches in them?
Yep.
Not sure.
Yep.
So, I mean, I found these videos. I thought they might be interesting. So you have to. I think he's going to do the failsafe here. So he's turning slow. Then you turn off the transmitter and it stops. You just have to show him that.
Okay. I got a few questions here. Hold that one. Okay. So, Terry, for one, what is your hands down favorite, most memorable fight? Doesn't have to be the one you were directly involved in, just one that really sticks out to you. And I know which one you're going to say, but you go right
I
ahead.
got a feeling.
I think it's going to be the Judge.
Yeah.
Judge versus Toro at the Battle of the Beach, Brian Nave's event.
No video.
No wedge game, no forks. Two super heavyweights going at it for 3 minutes straight.
A
Shit
flipper and a
flying all
hammer,
over.
just constantly getting tossed over and flipping back
The
over
arena
and self-righting.
the arena was a third the size at least. It maybe smaller.
Oh, those bots probably couldn't fit end to end sideways in the box.
There was nothing to do but fight.
Were big compared to the arena, but I mean, it really put on a show.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the new bots. Don't keep up with other bots' postings, or I try to stay off of social media as much as we can so that we don't see any spoilers.
Yeah, this is true. This has come through a couple. This has come through a couple of times. I'd really love to see it. I just don't think it's very effective. So the Crusher would fire like Hydra.
Well,
it's just
it might be more effective though, right? Because it could actually induce damage where you don't have to win the wedge war every time. You win it once and actually can disable something instead of just flipping them and okay, I'm back for more. Hey, I'm back for more.
And instead of quantum, doing a slow crush, it snaps. It's closed.
Yeah, I don't. There'd be a way of doing that. Where do we fly out of?
Not Wisconsin.
Definitely not Wisconsin. No. That's way too slow. And what happens if two bots have the same frequency? That hasn't been a problem for, 20 years now?
Technically, they're all the same frequency.
No, not 20 years. 15, yeah.
They still had frequency clips back then?
Yeah. All the kind of Comedy Central days were clips.
So that was back to 02.
Yeah,
04?
I mean, we looked at taking Warrior to FRA in the UK in 2004. That was what, 40 megahertz stuff there, and that's still frequency clip stuff.
Well, now the rule is you have to have what's called spread spectrum, some version of that, so that it's on multiple different frequencies and that there really is no interference anymore. There's no just frequency clips anymore.
It's exactly the same as your typical RC plane.
I mean, we started using the
2.4
Spectrum
gigahertz.
We started using the Spectrum DX6s, when we were doing the Rose Humvees, and that was 2005.
Mm-hmm.
The video at Battle of the Beach was taken by a professional. He took the tapes and left, and Brian Nave, who ran the event, never heard from him again.
So there is tapes, folks. You just
video
can't get the guy who's got them.
Well,
it's one of the best fights ever.
I wouldn't pick a match that there was proof to actually see if it was a good match or not.
Right. It lives in infamy because you can never prove that it was a good fight.
Correct.
How do you guys feel about the possible incoming of AI technology? Because there is a potential proving ground spot called Orbitron using multiple camera setups to scan the arena and scan the opponent and put itself in the arena.
I could see it working out really nicely, like 5 years from now.
What I would like to see is a 6 or 8 legged spider bot, right, with like 4 foot legs. And then you have whatever weapon on there. You got 2 hammer saws flailing underneath there, whatever. But each one of the legs would have some sort of camera zone. So if you've seen another bot coming into your zone, it could pick up that leg without any operator
So, like, it would instantly whiff the bots that are trying to touch it.
Right. And you get a walker bonus, right? I mean, there's plenty of canned software out there for 6-legged, 8-legged, that sort of thing. You just got to make the jumbo servos.
Like, could there be any practical use of trying to put AI in hydro or fusion, for example?
Not hydraulics. You don't want to do hydraulics because valves would technically be independent from each other.
The problem is with the sensors. People have tried this with flippers for a long time. Just discrete electronics, trying to make flippers fire at the right time. And the arena environment is so noisy, like with all the different lights and the angles, and like if you're trying to use sonar, then you get it bouncing off all the walls, and they inevitably even Chomp when it was like supposed to be operating on its own, they just had a takeover switch. You can see Yasha's driving the thing. I mean, it's just, it might work in theory, but the environment's very dirty, just like self-driving cars. Like, on test courses, they're going to be great. When a kid jumps out from the side on a bicycle, not so great. so
I think for a narrow task, it might actually work if you got the right sensors that work. Like I said, to pick up a leg to get out of harm's way type of thing. So you can't hit me type stuff.
Well, with this leg analogy, you could be looking down at the black floor, and as long as the opponent's bot isn't also black, you could probably pick out the bot coming in. But just maybe with cameras and really real deep AI, you could pull it off. But like with radar and like infrared and that stuff just doesn't really work in that environment. So with cameras and AI, that might be the way to go. But now you've got a fairly sophisticated electronic brain that's going to have to take 200 Gs. So
yeah, Skynet's going to be pissed that we've been cockfighting their cousins.
Yeah.
We did have an application by a guy named AI Tom that wanted to be on our team, so we're considering him.
Oh, he sounds much better.
Yeah, I can't compete with that.
He'd come up with a joke at least every half hour. None of this hour and 17 minute stuff.
Well, I've got something lined up for
All right,
as and when you want it.
Hit it with us right now.
Well, it's sort of like a story and a thing to show you guys.
Yeah, do it.
And it involves you, Jake.
Oh,
When do you think the first time me and you spoke was?
Uh-oh.
This is going to end bad.
I think it was when Dick was yelling at me when we were first opening up this chat thing, and he's like, "Somebody get in here! Somebody help me! Somebody need this!" So that's the first time I would remember talking to you. And are we talking like face to face too? I guess.
No, we've never met face to face, but we have spoken before, and this was in
Oh.
2019. Yeah, I know you won't remember this.
Did you
Stalker.
Facebook stalk me?
No, I
one of
didn't
those
Facebook stalk.
random people who messaged me.
No, it wasn't even that. It was the story was that myself and my friend Cheyenne, who was on a while ago, we were doing like a little sort of sweepstake between us, and the prize for the winner would be a signed photo by a team from BattleBots. And I reached out to Team Whyachi, and I got in contact with you, Jake, and you were very kind enough to say, yeah, you can have a signed photo, but the postage will be a bit expensive. What if I send one as a PDF and you can print that out? And I thought, great.
Oh, I
that's
remember
brilliant.
that.
I'd really
I do
appreciate
remember
that.
Print out
Hang
your
on,
picture.
hang on, it gets better. No.
He
You said,
sent
yep,
you a
I'll send you a
dick
signed
pic.
photo. Well, and you sent me what I've just posted in our little Facebook thing. You sent me something that I think you made up in Microsoft Paint in about 10 seconds, and I didn't have the heart to say, no, that's not what I was looking for. I was just like, yeah, thanks, mate, that's brilliant. It looked great when I printed that out.
No,
And that was the first
I
time we
did that
spoke.
on my phone, and that was my printout for signed things. That was my legit picture that I was giving out to sign hand pictures that we printed off at the shop. So that was
Was it
not
low
just
quality?
hey, this is real quick.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought it would be like a signature thing, and you'd scan it, and it would be that sort of thing. But
Oh,
was
you
really
wanted a real
confused when that
signature.
came.
See, I didn't know that. I thought you just wanted a picture of us, and like this was the generic thing I had already pre-made up.
And your
That's why I
I want
get
a
it.
signed
social
picture.
security number.
I'm getting it. What he's saying is, Jake, you
No.
owe him a signed picture.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, I've had the ultimate fan experience now, but I was really confused for 4 years, and I didn't want to bring it up to sound rude or unappreciative.
Oh, this is like the ultimate. The ultimate get back at you.
You could have just said something like, "Hey, I was looking for something else." You just
Tom,
took it
you've
and,
been
and
trolling
said it was
us
okay.
for 14 weeks to get a signed picture from Jake.
He's been
Goddamn
waiting.
super fans, I tell
He's
you.
been plotting this for 4 years. I'm going to wait until I'm on a live stream, and then I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I've been really confused about it for 4 years, and I didn't want to bring it up. I've waited 14 episodes to even mention it. But no,
Are we
I
gonna hear from
understand
you
now.
after this? After you got your whole shindig?
It's about
Are we
time
gonna
you
hear
show
from
up,
you
man.
anymore, Tom?
Oh yeah, I still want to be in Vegas.
Someday.
But it's your fault though. You could have
Dick,
just said,
too
"Hey,
big.
that's
Too
not
big.
quite what I'm looking for. Could you do this instead?" Instead, you
I'm
just bed the UK guy you are and said, "Oh, cool, thanks, man." And then you just for 4 years you just been stewing on this like a crazy person.
Well, the good news
How is
is
that my fault?
the good news is week 1 you probably got crossed off the list. People I want to kill.
No, I wasn't even stewing on it. I was just really confused, and I didn't really think about it because I didn't want to sound rude, like you said. And I've had the ultimate fan experience. I'm having the signed photo doesn't matter anymore. This is better than any signed photo. But I was
What
just
do you-
really confused for 4 years, and I didn't
what
really
would
understand
make
it. But I didn't want to say to Jake Hewitt, "Sorry, mate, that's not what I was looking for." I'd feel
Okay.
rude doing that.
How can he make it up to you?
Not kick me out of this episode.
I'll do you one better.
Pretty low bar.
Mute.
No, don't do that. Am I on mute?
Okay, unmuted. You're unmuted. Okay.
I'll settle
Hey.
for that.
Hey, I'll send you something. You were just too cheap to pay the postage. I'm just gonna say that.
No, not at all. You were the one who said, "Yeah, it would be too expensive."
Well, I was
If you
warning
think-
you because anything we send to UK just
Tom,
is
give me
stupid
your
expensive.
address. I will send you a signed picture of me.
Actually, you know what he actually needs though that he hasn't mentioned yet. Remember the little contest we had back on like the second or third week with the purple poker chip? He's been stewing on that because he still hasn't got that. Thing is, he hasn't sent me any information to send him one. So once again, this guy right here failing the system.
If
No,
you
no,
scroll back
he's-
4 years in your team messages, you'll find my address there.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that. Not a chance.
I think he's saying you can give it to him in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'd like that.
yeah.
That's what he's saying.
I like that.
Use it
And I'll
as a-
give you
No.
a signed picture and a slap on the ass and say good job. How about
Hey,
that?
can
Thank
we,
you. I'd
can we,
appreciate
can we
that.
send you an Udder Gun system over too, so you can show it to some dairy farmers around there?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love that. I'd
and,
get them
and
on
of
board.
course,
with
Weasel will send dick pics to everyone.
it. I really want a Whyachi hat. That's what I want the most.
See,
Why
I
don't you
tried to
Udder
get
Gun?
Tom's. I literally tried to get Tom's address so I could send him a webcam with Amazon, so his setup wasn't so shit.
Okay.
Says the guy sitting in a green room.
Give
And
us
he
your
wouldn't-
email us your
Give it to
address so
me.
we can get you 2 pictures, the damn purple chip. and a
decent
hat.
webcam and a decent
Thank
webcam.
Tom, you can trust me with your
Wait,
address.
what's
I
wrong with Tom's
promise.
camera?
I won't give
Tom's
it out.
camera's not bad, is it?
He's on his phone. He needs to be on his computer.
Yeah, just on
Oh,
my phone.
I did have to
'Cause-
mute you a few times during this because I could be hearing feedback when we were playing the really loud
Right.
video.
And he could share content then. Like right now,
you could be
can't
part.
really share content.
Yes. Thank you. Who said that? Where is that? Get Dick
Oops.
out of the dungeon.
Last week he
Yes.
must have been
Oh,
too drunk to
fine.
bring that up.
Fine.
Mm.
There it
Okay,
is.
this-
Dick out of the dungeon.
Fine.
You always got to have light
solved-
on the dick pic.
You
Yeah.
solved a 4 or 5 year mystery for me. So I appreciate that.
Well, at least it wasn't completely my fault. I'll give it like 20% my fault. I mean, I did give you specialty stuff and the JPEG to our actual official image, full res, for free. But you're welcome. Yeah.
You did.
Thanks for stewing in that for 4 years. That's awesome.
You did tell
Makes
me
me feel
you
real
were
good.
11, right?
Like I said, I didn't stew. I was just really confused.
I don't know if I have your address. Why would I have your address? Maybe I do. I'm not sure. A lot of the bot people I don't like personally like. Hey, I'm gonna remember your address. Here it is. It's like if I needed to actually send you something, I'd have to look back in emails or whatever else. But yes, it's full state. Jake from Allstate. And yes, I am not wearing khakis.
Good thing Tom wasn't a Make-A-Wish kid 4 years
He should
ago.
be.
There's
You
still
have to be
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go and microwave my own head.
We can't do those on YouTube.
No gun
Oh.
check?
No more gun checks.
Oh.
We
We
got
can't-
banned.
We'll do them on unrestricted.
Can we just show the stocks?
No,
No.
just leave it alone.
We
can't
used to
talk
pull
I
out.
about
can do my thing that I
And
had.
We
definitely
used to
don't
pull out
say
the
it's-
arms. You know.
Don't say something about a bumping, smoky thing.
I can do my thing for gun check. My thing's not even a gun.
It's not.
All right, Tom. Let's see it. Rock
What
it
do you
out,
got?
man.
It's
You,
more
you
novel.
and your giraffe.
Oh, that's Gino. Leave Gino alone. No, mine's more like just a novelty check. It's I really love 60s Batman, so I've got an action figure of 60s Batman in swimming trunks from the episode where he has to battle the Joker in a surfing contest.
Okay, so serious question here. Are you guys just
Yeah.
that far behind the rest of the world that you have that now, like 20, 30 years behind?
That sounds like a lot like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
that actually looked like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still in the package, Tom.
It is, yeah. I don't play with him or anything.
You don't
I just
play
like
with your
looking at
action
him.
figures. You just
So you
look
buy
at them and
two,
show them
play
on
with
screen.
one, keep one in the package.
No, I just got the one, but I've got a load of little comic books of 60s Batman as well. That's my favorite era of Batman, 60s Batman. So I thought I'd bring that.
You're
to
just getting to see them over there now, the 60s ones?
No. And 60s to 90s is my favorite TV era.
What year did they start? Like 68?
66, if not earlier. Maybe 65.
With Adam West.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Not this dark, moody,
Just
emo
one baby
Batman.
gun.
And all the POW and the BAM
You know what?
symbols that pop
Yeah,
up.
it comes with those. It comes with a kapow and
Oh,
a bam.
nice.
I'm thinking if Tom wants to be on the team, you know.
What's that
go
called?
What's that?
Like POW. What is that called?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that onomatopoeia?
Sounds like.
I'm thinking we just do like $1,000 like a day buy-in for super fans to just come on the team, and you get to be part of the team one time.
Except for Tom.
Except for Tom, yeah.
Thank you.
He's,
Well,
I
this
just-
No. See, you have the full ride scholarship already. You just got to get your ass
not
over
full
here.
ride. He's got to pay his travel.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but he's got to
I've
get
gotta do
over
that.
here. He's over here and,
I've
he's
got to
golden.
I've got to get myself a terminal illness to be a Make-A-Wish kid as well. I just got to do that.
Hey, I could give you a terminal illness.
Please do.
So Reese,
Lead
you want
poisoning?
to talk about this fan that's like? Does she want?
Jill?
Okay, Jill. She's the one who's making these.
First off, big congratulations to a new team member, officially, unofficially, but officially. Jill from Instagram has taken the time to make some pretty sweet graphics for us, and they're dope. They're dope as fuck.
Yeah, they're really, 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 really good.
And she made a bunch of them too. Like, I was
Oh, that's a good
super
one.
surprised. Yeah.
Hey, if you're
They're all
unmuted,
good.
why the duct tape?
That's just because he likes it. Just because he likes it.
That's
for his own
pre-mute.
thing.
That's pre-mute.
Okay.
Oh, right there. Robot Space Girl. Excellent.
Hmm.
Yes. I knew you were a special one. Yeah.
What's with all the weed stuff, though?
Well, that's what people do.
Some people think I smoke a lot of weed for some reason.
I mean, look at you, though. I mean, these are excellent. And she has been very generous with previous shows, too. So we want to thank you, and thank you for taking the time to do this, because I know artwork takes some time to do
you
right.
see, Tom, that's how it works with fans. They make art and send it to us.
They actually
yes.
produce something instead of just sitting here.
And
bump on a
here's
log.
the kicker. She's just a great gal, and I offered to pay her, and she's like, "No, just give me a hat."
Looks
But it's got to
awfully
be
happy
signed
with
by
that.
everyone. So when Tiny Hands comes back, we got to get her to sign it. And it's actually, so here's the thing. After this last season, I went and I signed the hat that I wore throughout the year. And I was going to auction it off, but I figured, they should go to Jill. A little special piece. So
You
y'all
sure she
gotta-
wants that?
Yeah, she said it might be a little stinky, but it's authentic.
Are those actually your cats on there?
No.
No, but they're good kitties, though. Yeah. No, I didn't see the dolls that you made. I only seen a few of the really good memes that he had shown out. To us.
I mean, this as a sticker would be pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Speedy, you came back to Robot Space Girl, made all these amazing memes and stuff for Reese's after show, which are pretty good. Like really,
It's in the
really
description.
good. Yeah. So that's what you came back on. So this will all be in the after show.
I like that one. The double tape.
I like the furry Reese, man. That's really
it
really
kind of
good.
looks
one.
like you're muted and blinded.
This is pretty great.
That
was
that was good. That will be on a t-shirt very soon. I can promise you that.
Is Eeyore a bear, an otter, or a donkey? He's kind of all the above.
It's kind of like half man, half bear, half pig.
Man bear pig.
Man bear.
Kind of
Eeyore.
like man bear pig. Cat man dog. Something around there.
Cat daddy.
So no Pussy King then.
Yeah,
like-
new
No,
Whyachi
I don't
merch
think
shop.
so.
Probably
Like
should.
Lion King.
Probably should, because these are pretty good.
This one here is
I
pretty
want
good.
to see. I want to see
Maybe.
Reese on a fire extinguisher. Reese branded. Fire
Yes.
extinguisher.
Reese holding a fire
Yeah.
extinguisher?
They like
That's
Supreme.
yeah, Reese is a firefighter.
Do you know what Supreme is, Tom?
Supreme.
It's a brand. It's a brand that means nothing at all. Used to be pretty big. I don't even know if it is anymore, but it's just like crowbars or fire extinguishers or random stuff. It just says Supreme on it. People were buying it because it said Supreme.
wait, go back one. Go back one.
She'd
Was,
make that.
was that just
picture
Reese
show
holding
you-
his doll?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Well,
Was that a real thing?
and a dude's wearing a
she,
shirt.
she,
No.
she created that.
She totally made it up.
Oh,
this
okay.
is.
That's
she also
really...
made. I forgot to say. She also made the fusion panty. The panty
Look
fusion.
at this. Look at this
Okay.
cat's fusion. That's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we really should get better into marketing
We're gonna
ourselves
have to
out
make
because
sure the damn thing burns again every match next year.
Yep.
yeah. I like that.
Starts
That's my favorite.
After. Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, oh man, I just want something cool, like me smoking a cigar. And then she came with the Catman thing too, so that just makes it even better. Oh, by the way, Dick, your new nickname is Buff Kitty. Because
Okay.
Unrestricted is a Buff Kitty production. That's the name of the production company.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was meat pie.
No, I don't like that.
He doesn't want meat pie.
Don't
Fine, Tom.
like that at all.
Tom's meat pie then.
I'll go with
I'll do it.
it. I've been called worse.
See, there's people that want the unmute.
I know them.
They want.
It's a
big
great
mute.
graphic. It's gonna fly off the shelves.
Fly, yeah, because we have so many shelves to fly off them. Meat
Well,
pie
I
save
think-
lives.
I
I
think
like
we
that.
should just get Jill to do the store and give her a cut.
So
That's what
far,
I think.
we haven't really talked money. I just said like, I would give her money. I told her I'd split it with her.
How many dollars are we talking here to split?
Well, could be $7.
Tens and tens.
Seeming
I don't
5
know.
people
with
will buy
with
it. So.
actual good graphics. I don't know.
In a good assortment.
Yeah.
I mean,
So hold off on making big expenditures. Got it.
right.
All I know is no. I won't say. I won't say.
Well, don't piss her off. So if she wants a hat,
No, this was about the fusion. Okay, I'll say just so we're clear here. I spent more money on fusion merch than anybody combined.
True.
That's sad. Yeah.
I think we have a pot holder here. Took the pot pies out.
Well, yeah. If you're gonna give her your hat from last year, I did that not this season, but the season before that. Every fight, I did a different shirt and a hat combo, right? And then I signed each one, and then for each fight, I could sell that hat and shirt combo, which it made like enough to cover the shirt.
I'm
For the
going to do
most
that
part,
with
yeah, but-
panties. So
You're gonna wear different
there.
panties for your fights,
Yep.
But-
Yep.
but if they're not on screen, then they're not the same.
Can you just take a tray of meat pie out with you and just dish it out to the crowd?
He's handing out meat pie plates here.
I
Right?
seriously don't. You know, it's weird. It's weird. People tend not to like consume things that I give them.
They're a little wary.
I get that.
I don't know. I've never been like caught roofing anybody, so it's to me it's weird. But it's just I give off a certain vibe. The whole axe murderer thing.
He
That's
does make
fine. That's
does
more meat
make-
pie for me.
he does make people breakfast pretty much every
Yeah,
other day.
I'm the camp chef. I make a mean egg Sammy. I mean, it's angry. It is an angry egg
And
sandwich.
what's your secret?
My
What are the
secret?
steps?
Well, first off, y'all at the shop only get 1 egg sandwiches. Typically, I make 2. It fills you a little bit more. The secret is you want to spread it out real thin so it cooks evenly. And then you butter the toast, and then you put a little Creole on there. Creole? I don't know how you say it. Creole? It's like a spicy salt. And that's it. Buttered toast on your egg Sammy though.
No cheese.
Well, this
Cheese, yeah, you got to use shredded cheese. Cooks better. And then
this
and
episode.
then you fold it up neatly, nice and neatly. Something I'm not good at, into a perfect little square that fits on your toast.
Quick Trip Urge.
Yeah, that's a sponsor of this week's show is Quick Trip.
They would be a good
They have
sponsor.
some of the best beef jerky there is. Mm-hmm.
Now, you could say it's just a gas station, but
Oh, it's a
probably
lifestyle.
the best C-store ever. Big chain.
I got to disagree on the butter on the bread with you there. It makes it too
Absolutely.
wet.
No.
Oh, it crisp up, man.
Tom. Don't tell me how to make an egg Sammy.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
I've been
what-
cooking.
when you're
cooking
making
this.
grilled cheese, do you put butter on it or mayo?
Neither.
Well, technically, it's
Oh,
actually
I just-
margarine.
Okay, Tom. The next time you make grilled cheese, mayo,
Yeah.
mayo the outside.
Okay.
But do you put beans on the toast?
Do I what?
Do you put beans on the toast?
No.
I have an irrational fear of baked beans.
Okay, because
That
beans on toast is a breakfast thing. Like, come on, Tom, tell us about beans on toast.
Tom, you
No, I
can't.
can't. I can't do that.
I mean, the crap you guys eat for breakfast. I mean, really? What is that nasty ass spread?
Oh no, that's not them.
Oh, Marmite.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Marmite. Some people like it. Some people hate
And
it.
how is that made?
I have no idea.
Like did just scrape it off of some bacteria type of shit?
Anchovy
Oh, yeah.
sauce,
Black pudding.
emulsified.
Yeah, I'm
Try
with
it,
Speedy
Speedy.
though.
Try it,
Um,
Speedy.
So
Absolutely.
hang on. Do I grill the sandwich first, then spread the
Alright.
mayo?
No, no,
on
no.
it?
You
Here's-
grill it with the mayo on the outside. That is your grilling spread.
It sounds like I'm just
Absolutely.
going to ruin my grill.
I could
No,
I could
no,
see
no.
it
It
being
grills up like
okay.
butter. It's fine.
kind of French toasty.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
what-
You put butter on the outside of toast before you put the grilled cheese on. Now you're just replacing the butter with mayo.
Well, I gotta
Also,
ask
you skip the
Chatbot.
butter completely.
What?
You skip the butter completely.
Yes, and you just
Yeah.
mayo the outside with mayo.
Okay, what kind of cheese?
Whatever
Also,
processed
Tom,
stuff
when
you
I
want
make an
on
egg
it.
Sammy, you butter one side of the toast. You put that towards the egg, so the crunchy side is still on the outside.
Okay. Okay, I didn't realize that you were crunching up the butter. I thought you were just spreading it on after you've toasted it. So you have like wet butter touching egg. I don't.
There,
I'm very strange with food,
there.
but I will
They-
eat
they-
whatever you make me, Reese.
They agree.
So
Absolutely. Hit it up.
you're not a fan of like food touching each other kind of thing.
I can't do ketchup and mayo touching each other.
Oh, that would be this. Well, so you
What
don't
the
do a
f-
Whopper then.
What do you eat French fries with?
Ketchup and mayo not touching each other.
Oh,
It goes to different compartments in his belly.
they're so close. Just put them together. They
No, I can't
belong
do that.
together.
No, it goes all pink and weird.
You're pink and weird.
Yeah.
What are you?
Red. Very red today.
I'll tell you what's pink and weird. Starfish. Bet you didn't think I was going to say that, did you?
ChatGPT doesn't want to get involved with my attitude.
Are you doing a cat check now or after show?
I can't do a cat check. I can't.
Why?
What do you?
As I stated in the chat, I have been drinking for 8 hours. And I'm doing all right, wouldn't you say, for like 8 hours of drinking?
Did this start at a 6-year-old's birthday party?
Was she 6?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Wait, whose birthday party?
Pete's daughter.
Oh,
Yeah, you were supposed to get invited, but Pete got stuck on concrete duty, so he forgot to invite people.
I see. All right.
So, no kitten check. Are you kidding me?
No, I can't wrangle myself at this point.
Fine.
So you're saying the after show is going to be hilarious?
Might not make it.
I might take a nap, to be honest.
People will still watch that.
Yeah.
You better be careful here because you've already told people you're going to have an after show. Don't make me come
Dick,
over there.
there's going to be an after show. I'm just saying I might fall asleep halfway.
It'll be like the Truman Show, just watching
All
him
right,
sleep.
Fuck. Here we go.
Wait, what's he doing? Is he preparing? Are you stretching to get your cats?
Cracked my neck. We're good to go.
No, I applaud his responsibility of, but you're going to have to give us a kitten check midweek then that I can post because
Yeah, they're getting big every week.
I think the problem is I'm just not drunk enough to do a kitten check.
Folks, that sounds like he needs
So
a
I've
little
been drinking.
motivation.
I've been
So
drinking
tell
for
him to
like
drink.
8 hours, but you come down a little bit and then you're tired. And I just got to find that next gear. You know, got to find that next gear.
Debbie Downer, how about you stop downing us, man? I mean, check out his shirt. He's got an Eeyore short. Eeyore in an Eeyore shirt.
Yeah.
And the bounce. What's going
So
on there?
I've kind of run out of material unless we want to continue with this safety check.
Yeah, let's
Which
finish
is-
the safety check and then we can round it out hopefully before the second hour happens.
Yeah.
What about the pond up there? Did you already do that?
Yes.
We did-
Yeah, but you probably got to go over some stuff there yet.
I mean,
This was
didn't
not
really-
from last season, right? Because the graphics look really nice on the bottom.
Yeah, looks brand new.
we're wearing masks, so
Because apparently you need to wear masks outside.
What sorts of things have people failed their safety checks on? Because there was a team called Electric Ray that apparently failed safety, and they were never seen again.
Oh, there's
I've
lots
heard
of
of them.
people who fail safety. When they turn their bot off, it turns on. There was one bot that
There's
turned
the
on their
main
weapon
safety guy
system,
right
and it was
there.
a full
Yeah.
spinner. And there was a guy inside the box, the guy turning it on, and it started to spin. So not great. So that stuff does happen. But yeah, I mean, usually they just send you back to the pit and fix it.
yeah. I mean, a lot of teams are still putting their bots together sometimes, so like they can't figure out, like they can't get the turning on tool to get to the switch. It's just there's lots of. I mean, sometimes the bot doesn't go at all because the radio isn't bound right.
The Lenny.
Really,
The Lenny.
Yeah, everybody from now on should call
The
the
Lenny.
Turniani tool the Lenny. Because nobody there is named Lenny, and it just makes sense.
that's what we call it.
Yep.
Speaking of that, how many duplicate first names are there in BattleBot drivers?
Got a few Daves.
Really?
Dave is David.
Dave Eaton,
what?
Dave of Malice.
Well, there's all kinds of Daves on that one team, but I'm saying the main operator of the
Well, Eden. Dave
captain
Eden.
of the bots.
I don't know. That's a
No.
good question.
I think there's a lot
surprisingly
of-
probably pretty clean.
I think there's a lot of everybody's different names.
Oh yeah, there's lots of Matts. Matt Vasquez, Matt,
Now,
Maxim.
is that a coincidence,
Matt Bowers.
or did this happen that way?
No,
Oh.
there was a guy who really wanted to be in BattleBots, but he's like, "Oh God, somebody has my name, so I can't go."
Thank you, Wild About Law. Very nice of you.
Nice.
For the weeks of fun. 14 weeks, in fact, folks. This is week number 14. Can you believe that? It's been so long.
Yeah,
And of course,
like the
Reese has to
first
drink.
one,
So
you said we're doing 14 of them, and you said, yeah.
Okay.
Dick didn't think we were going to get past one. So
Oh, I thought we did turn off the YouTube a while ago.
Dick's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes
what
to
happened?
get the scene.
What happened?
I just turned the
I thought it was-
audio.
I
Okay.
thought I was muted.
Well, no. Every time
Oh,
you
I-
turn the audio on, the two guys without headphones, it blanks out most of our audio when we're talking. Just so you know.
If you
What,
guys,
do this?
I'm gonna start a cooking channel because I make great food. When we go to Canada, I'm known as Cookie up there, and
Except you always
because
mess
I
with the food.
Oh, you mean make it fucking delicious? Yeah,
Mess
all
with
right.
it.
Guilty as charged.
Mess with it. Fusion has not started on fire during safety, I don't think.
No,
Just once.
Just
But it
once.
wasn't
safety?
a safety. It was not a safety.
It was
it
just
was
you messing
a-
around.
It was after Rampage, and I was like, there's something fucked up with
oh,
this
that's right.
button.
We went straight into the box after the
Yep.
Rampage fight,
Yep.
and it started on
And it
fire.
started on fire immediately.
So you got lucky. Gets
Mhm.
ran
I mean,
Oh,
it was still working after the fight. It's just one more startup, probably a tight bearing or something, and yep, she would have been toast.
Yeah, I meant to mention this. I kind of forgot to. It's a bit off topic. Stream number 5 is banned in the UK.
Good.
I
You
can't
don't
watch it
deserve
anymore.
us.
There's
can't
probably
watch
a
it
lot,
anymore.
a lot of cat milking going on. Can you believe
No,
I've been
all the others
milking
are
cats
fine.
for like 3 months?
It's because of Discovery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the only one that got taken down. I can see all the
Core,
others.
yeah. I figured out.
You sure that wasn't the UK one where we were doing UK bots?
No, that was number 3.
Mm.
If you got a non-stick pan and you put a little oil and butter in there, you fry your mozzarella. I can't give this away. This is going to be on my food truck someday. Sorry, Core.
Yeah.
I can't say. Or
Yeah,
maybe
you're having a
like
food truck?
Yeah, I aspire to be a food truck operator. I dream
Well,
really
he
big.
comes to the birthday party, right? He's like the first one there to the 60-year-old girl's birthday party. And who
Whips
the
out my
hell was
bottle
on
of
the,
Jack
who the hell
Daniels.
was on the grill? Neppy.
Neppy.
And then like a minute later takes the spatula out and tongs out of his hands, and he takes over the grill for him. So he's
That's
the
what
grill
I
master
do.
today.
I cook food. I eat food.
You like telling people telling you you're doing a good job when you're playing with your meat, huh?
No. I like people telling me I'm doing a good job when my meat's in their mouth.
Ugh.
We needed to get it banned. We got 9 minutes left till we ban it, right?
No, we won't get a ban for that.
I'm not sure
Yes.
if that takes place. I mean, how are you doing the good job?
Well,
What do you mean?
You can do a bad job. Think of that, then do the opposite.
Okay. Uh-huh. So, do you milk the cats by hand, or do you make an
Yeah,
automatic
we're still
milking
hand
system?
milking. We're still in the 17th century here. And I tell you, a little bit of feta cat cheese on your egg sammies goes a long way. Now, I will say, the best grilled cheese I ever had, Jake actually made it for me.
Mm.
It had jalapenos and Munster cheese.
And it had mayo.
And that was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's a jalapeno grilled cheese. It's a jalapeno popper grilled cheese.
It was good, folks.
So I just went into this, the partially blocked. It blocked it for, 46? Somebody help me with this. It's 8:46 to 9:30. How many seconds is that? It's like
44.
44 seconds. So for 44 seconds of content, this entire 5 hours cannot be viewed in these countries.
Nice.
So Terry, what got you into combat robotics there? For a few final questions that people want to post. And by the way, you guys, you should post as many questions as you can within the next 7 minutes, because we are going to light it down at 7. Okay.
During that question asking, we need everybody to go to Rumble and subscribe to a certain page. Okay. Because we cannot stream to it until we get 20 subscribers. And we're at 7.
Stream to what? We can't stream to our own page?
No, it's
The
Don't worry about that
unrestricted
right now.
page.
yeah. We'll get the Rumble. We'll rally the troops at Rumble for that. Don't.
Right. Now,
I don't
when
have
we do shut this stream down, you guys can just stick around, and it will automatically revert you over to
No,
Rumble,
not anymore.
correct?
No, that's only to a YouTube channel. You got to go to the link in the description.
Oh, okay. So when that time comes, we'll do that. Anyways,
when the
back
time
to the
comes-
question.
So the question,
Mhm.
it was the fall of 2000, and watching Comedy Central and seeing it on TV, And then I had a little background in racing RC cars, so I had some driving and RC experience when I was working down in Milwaukee. And seen it and thought, well, hell, we could probably build one of those and do halfway decent. So that's how we started into it in early 2001. And built Sal, built a super heavyweight. Sal was an afterthought, but it actually started doing pretty good there at the event. And I guess it won as a rookie. Not many have done that.
True. Not many
One of these years, Weasel's going to win as a rookie.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping my rookie status, because I got to win as a rookie. That's the only.
So every
possible way.
year is a new year for his rookie season. Just
Well, you just never have enough experience. It's like a Friday night. You took the chick out for fish, maybe some lobster. And
Here we go.
I was hoping somebody was going to mute me because I actually had nothing to say there.
Oh,
There's no fish.
oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm literally
What-
hovering.
I muted his ass, so it's no problem. No problem.
I had something I meant to ask Terry coming into this, but I'll wait till the chat questions are done.
Okay.
Hold on. Did we just mute Tom? I don't know
Hmm?
what happened.
No.
I know. I said I said I'd let the chat get their questions in, and then I would.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
right.
first we gotta thank the inconspicuous bot guy because
Thank you,
he
bot
just
guy,
gave another
again.
$5 to
Big
make
donor
Weasel
for the
even
night.
more drunk when he
All
gets on. So
right.
thank you for coming on.
Well,
thank
while you're
all the
still
rest of you
here-
fans for coming on too. But we're still doing 4 minutes speed run of 4-minute questions here. So let's get this. here.
Just thinking about taking a shot of this Jack Daniels gets
All right.
me
So
hard.
real quick, Terry, how did you feel when you saw the Sal banner above the battle box?
I thought it belonged there. Didn't feel like an outlier at all. So that was
Cheers,
a good
big
little
ears.
touch. Walk in there in my normal watching spot in one of the early matches there, and then Trey comes up and comes over there by me and then points behind. Hey, check that out! And then the banner standing up there. Looked pretty good.
Okay. Did anybody buy any DVDs of the BattleBots sold at the Comedy Central show? They had their pre-fight TVs. Dick did, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. I have mine. I had them posted on YouTube, and then I got my channel almost banned. But it got struck for 90 days for posting the videos. After I had approval from from BattleBots 15 years ago to post them.
See, that's weird that somebody would copyright strike that, even though it's not anywhere else, right? It's not live anywhere, but yet they're still striking it.
Right, and we were told go ahead, post that stuff if you want, and then now somebody else decides that. So I got a 90-day ban on my personal channel.
Should be.
Well, YouTube isn't listening. One of my personal channels. I have a second one.
So, is there any bots to replace Hydra in the works? Is Hydra even a thing? We don't know, folks. We're still.
Well, Hydra-
we're still
Hydra's-
working on Hydra now, so
Still kicking and screaming.
it's still will be usable if we needed it. Okay, so down to 2 minutes here. We're gonna keep
As
going,
soon
keep
as we
going.
come up
I
with a
gotta
better
tinkle
option,
my
we'll
winkle.
use it.
So I read somewhere that Sal's hammers are in fact based on meat cleavers or something. Is that true?
Pretty much. Yep.
Terry, how long are we going to wait for the next Team Whyachi giant nut?
It's a good fucking question. You should ask.
Yeah.
You should answer that.
Somebody
one.
whose bot doesn't start on fire
Yeah,
really dropped the fucking ball on that one.
Where can we buy? If Fusion would be better, you should win the nut. Okay, I've been trying. I keep getting a little farther. Where can we buy
Well,
parts for building a heavyweight bot from Team Whyachi? Thanks. TeamWhyachi.com. We actually sell a lot of parts on there that people have been using for the last 20 years. So feel free to go on there. It's got switches, not controllers, but gearboxes, and it's a pretty good base setup for most things.
Custom
Any
part.
improvements for Hydra? Well, we might do a new vert of some kind, a little guy, so that we can actually be in the good battles of not having to win all the time.
Question for Terry from myself.
Shoot.
A long time ago, you were a part of an obscure robot combat show called Robotica. I know you don't look fondly on the robot that you brought, but the show itself, you experience behind the scenes and on the set. What did you think of it? And would you like to see more trials and task-based events rather than just all-out combat?
15 seconds.
Yeah, that was a little Mickey Mouse, that program there. Not just because our bot was totally uncontrollable that we brought there, but it is a little. I don't know if I'd go back.
About trials, what about trials in this day and age? Different like challenges and tasks, like maze events and things like that, other than just combat.
On TV, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe the right format.
Okay,
Whatever is
time.
entertaining.
Nope, done. No. So we are gonna call it a night for the mainstream of the Team Whyachi. We want to thank all the folks who showed up, all 74 of you currently still watching. I think we had a pretty good night, and we're gonna continue to do this until you guys find us completely boring and out of here. Of course, Eeyore is gonna take us to his after show here. So just click on the link that's posted, and we'll head on over to Rumble, where we will be unrestricted. So once again,
the link's in the description. Jake, do not close the show. I have to do it. It won't be automatically redirected. It's in the chat. It's in the description. If you just go to Rumble and search for Team Whyachi, you'll also find it there.
And
I also put my link in the chat for.
We'll play the out of show, so it'll look like the show's ending, and then this will come right back up on Rumble and be ready for you. Okay, so
Somebody
thank you all.
follow us.